it's meant to be, then it will, God willing. Sky's the limit and I'm busting at the ceiling. Starting to get to the point where I don't catch feeling. Just counting these millions, I need 100 a show. If you can't pay, it's a no. I would never sell my soul. That's the truth, Lord knows. All I need is good vibes, so I don't trust these hoes. I done lost my bros. That's just how the game go. Came a long way, get it straight. They want the food on my plate. They don't want to see me strive, but want a piece of the cake. All I need is good vibes, and everything will be great. But they rather tell lies.
What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, Grant Hefe, and get ready for another episode of Unpopular Opinion. How y'all doing today, man? Today is Monday, bright and early this Monday. Show came a little early today, but that's okay. This week is gonna be it's gonna be a long week for everybody. The Unpopular Opinion podcast will be airing tomorrow. I will have a special guest on with me for tomorrow's show, so you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys follow the Unpopular Opinion podcast on Facebook. That's at Unpopular Opinion 2018. Also, follow the Unpopular Opinion Twitter page at Unpopular 2018. Also, follow the Unpopular Opinion Instagram at Unpopular_Opinion 2018. I will have links in the description for you guys, just in case you guys forget or don't remember. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GrandJefe, GRANXJEFE. We're trying to get the Unpopular Opinion YouTube page going so we can have live video for you guys. That's going to be coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and kick off this show today. We're going to start with the Sunday night game between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings was my pick to win that NFC North division. Obviously, they're not doing that. The Chicago Bears are in the lead right now. I think the Minnesota Vikings will get in by way of wild card. This game officially eliminated the Green Bay Packers from contention last night. They are officially out of the playoff race, and there's been a lot of questions. There's been a lot of things to speculate, about Aaron Rodgers, whether or not he deserves any blame in this at all. I'm going to get to that a little bit later on. Just on the game level, Kirk Cousins played fantastic yesterday. Another 3-touchdown game. This is the reason why I said that the Minnesota Vikings would win this division again. This is the reason why I also said the Minnesota Vikings were in much better hands this time around, because they don't have Case Keenum. They have Kirk Cousins, who is a really good quarterback. He just doesn't get a ton of credit. But people are starting to see that Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback, especially now that that defense is playing up to snuff. People fail to realize that this defense was not the same defense that it was last year. It wasn't that Kirk Cousins was playing bad. They didn't bring Kirk Cousins in here. Thinking that he was going to be the next Peyton Manning. They brought Kirk Cousins in there because they knew that with the defense that they had, all they needed was a better quarterback. And if you're crazy if you don't think that Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback or an upgrade of a quarterback from Case Keenum, I just will have to question your football acumen. I will have to question your football analysis if you're telling me that Case Keenum is better than Kirk Cousins. But anyways, now you're starting to see that defense play a little bit better. And now you're starting to see the wins starting to wrap back up again. Just imagine if they were playing this way the whole entire time. Just imagine, So now you're looking at it as now they seem to be gelling. They seem to be gelling together. That defense, they seem to have everything on track as of right now, and they're winning. On the other side of the field, I've seen Aaron Rodgers, who to me, I did the show RTS Sports Talk this morning with Matthew Lyle, and me and him both said it. It just seemed like the Packers didn't have enough fire, didn't have enough grit. They didn't have enough want to in a game that I thought was very winnable, in a game that they only lost by 7 points in a divisional game, a divisional rivalry with playoff aspirations on the line. It just didn't seem like that they wanted any It just didn't seem like that they wanted it bad enough. It seemed like to me the Minnesota Vikings just went out and took it. Now they were at home, and I get it, and people are gonna give Aaron Rodgers, a bunch of scapegoats, and Mike McCarthy is gonna be his biggest scapegoat of the year, because I do believe that this will be Mike McCarthy's final season, and it's not that I believe that should happen. It's just the way that things go. It's just once people start calling for your job, once it starts surfacing that you could probably be on your way out the door, then from that point on, you probably are gone. Once those rumors start to surface, once guys like Adam Schefter and these guys, they start talking about you're wasting Aaron Rodgers' prime years, and Stephen A. Smith, you got guys like that saying that he's literally wasting, prime years of Aaron Rodgers. That's the immediate scapegoat now for Aaron Rodgers. It seems like, for me, we don't do this with anybody else. We don't do this with any other athlete. Tom Brady, how many years did he not have a receiver? How many years did he not have a running game, where he's actually throwing the ball to defensive backs, playing wide receiver? We don't do it with LeBron James. LeBron James can drop 45. And you know what? And he lose is somehow you didn't do enough. It doesn't matter what everybody else did. The consensus is you didn't do enough. You still lost. That's why we put the 3-6 final record on him. Even though, the past 3 finals, he's averaged more than 33 points per game in both of those, in all 3 finals. But it don't matter. Why? Because you didn't get it done. Don't matter. Yeah, people are going to say, there's going to be people saying, but J.R. Smith and the team he got is not good. But there's going to be the majority saying, well, you lost still. MJ didn't do that. So for me, Brady didn't do that. Peyton Manning didn't get that luxury of saying it was somebody else's fault. Because what did they say? Well, Peyton is the greatest regular season quarterback. You talking about the biggest slap in the face to a Hall of Famer. He's the biggest regular season quarterback. And then it comes to winning time and you're not doing it. But it was all on Peyton. It wasn't on Tony Dungy. It wasn't on the defense. It wasn't on the running game. No, it all fell on Peyton Manning. It seemed like with Aaron Rodgers, every time something doesn't go right, we have to look for somebody to point the finger to. A couple weeks ago in LA, it was Ty Montgomery. They got rid of him. What happened? You're still losing. You're still losing. Now it's Mike McCarthy. It's the play calling. Oh, it's because you chose not to go for it. Well, what about Aaron Rodgers missing throws, throwing balls in the dirt because he want to continue to throw the ball off his back foot instead of setting his feet? What about the missed throw in Seattle, the 2nd and 1 from last night? The third down that he missed to Devontae Adams in the corner of the end zone. Even if Devontae Adams wasn't that wide open and he had a DB on him, that ball was still uncatchable. Might have been picked off if the DB hadn't failed. So we always seem to to question everybody else around Aaron Rodgers. It happened the same thing happened a few weeks ago in San Francisco. He's throwing great passes. No, it's just great plays by other guys. But nobody else seemed to get any credit when it comes to Aaron Rodgers but Aaron Rodgers. And when it doesn't work, it seems like everybody else is to blame. I don't understand that. So to me, I think Aaron Rodgers deserves 50% of the blame. You're telling me a guy who is, by most people's standards, is the greatest quarterback to ever play this game, the greatest thrower of the football, and you're telling me that you only got one, you've only not just only have one Super Bowl, because I'm the ultimate team guy when it comes to rings. I would never be like one ring. But you're telling me that you haven't even got back to a Super Bowl. You're telling me that you have a 5-6 playoff record since you went to that Super Bowl for a guy that's that great. Listen, I don't care what you say. I've seen Tom Brady do it. If you're telling me that this guy's better than Tom Brady, let me see you do it. At least get there. At least get there. and not make excuses for, oh, it's the receivers, it's the running backs, oh, it's the defense. They got rid of Don Capers. Oh, now it's Mike McCarthy. Stop it, man. Stop it. If you gave me a choice right now, to have Aaron Rodgers offensive weapons or Mitchell Trubisky's offensive weapons, I guarantee you 90% of you guys, 95%, any real sports person who's a little objective is gonna tell me they want Aaron Rodgers receiving core. Right now, if you gave me a choice between Aaron Rodgers' weapon or Matt Stafford's weapon, I guarantee you the majority of the people are going to say Aaron Rodgers' weapons. And the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers got the same record. You're telling me that Aaron Rodgers, that this Green Bay Packers team is that much sorrier, got that many holes than the Detroit Lions team? Stop it. I don't want to hear that. Get that out of here, man. Moving along to the college ranks. Jim Harbaugh may be in trouble, man. I'm just gonna put that out there. Jim Harbaugh may be in trouble. And I say that not because he's not a good coach. I say that not because I don't think that he deserves to still have a job. But I say that because I'll give you a little example. I was on Facebook the other day. I was talking to one of my friends. I had put on there that I need a new coaching staff. I was referring to Florida State coaching situation. As anybody who's listened to me is well aware, I'm not a huge Willie Taggart fan. I don't think that he's as good of a coach. I thought that we probably could have done a little bit better. But I understand this scenario or the situation that the university was in, because Jimbo Fisher left during the season. So now we're trying to hurry up and find a coach so that the recruits can have a face to look at, a face to look forward to. So I understand what the university was doing there. The situation that I'm talking about now is Willie Taggart is not a good football coach. So I said, give me a new coaching staff the other day on Facebook. One of my Facebook friends responded. And he said, well, Willie Taggart always gets better. He always gets better in his second season. And I told him, I say, listen, man, I don't care that he can have us mediocre. I don't like being mediocre. I said, and it's not that I have such high standards for my program that I think that we should be in the national championship every year. But what I do expect is to be competing every year. And I do expect for us to be beating Miami and beating Florida. And when you don't do that, it's time for you to go. And that's what I think the case is for Michigan head coach John Harbaugh. Not that I think he should be fired. Not that I think that he's not a good head coach. And I wouldn't want him coaching my football team. But when you can't beat your rival, when you're 0-4 against Urban Meyer, when you're 0-4 against Urban Meyer, 0-4 against Ohio State, that doesn't sit well with the university president and AD. I guarantee you right now, if Nick Saban, was to lose 2 straight years to Auburn, I guarantee you that he probably wouldn't have a job if he lost to him a third time. That's what these ADs get. That's what they get off of. You have to beat your rivals. It happened at Auburn plenty of times. You've seen the documentaries saying that when a coach can't beat Alabama, it's time for them to go. The only reason why Gus Malzahn is there, because he's actually a good coach and he's beating Alabama. Once you stop beating Alabama, or once you stop beating your rival, it's time for you to go. So that's 4 straight times you done lost to Ohio State. That's 4 straight times that you done lost to Urban Meyer. That's another time where you were ranked number 4 in the country and everybody had high hopes for you. The best defense in all of college football. And you go and choke that away. You got no sacks. You put no pressure on Dwayne Haskins. You did absolutely nothing.